Hi, I'm Nathan Lusk with Warrior with a Pen Games, and today we're going to go over Sengoku Huang fives. It's a neat game. It's very different than anything I've showed you before, and it is a game that involves both Chinese and Japanese warlords, where you and your opponents each choose a warlord to be, and you get 4 different ranks of generals that you can recruit to fight for you. You can only ever have up to 5 at a time. There's 5 slots on the card here for your generals. Your leader, in this case, we're using Takeda Shingen, and he'll be fighting against the armies of Mori Motonari. Your leaders automatically start and play, and you're allowed to get up to 4 more generals to fill out your army to fight against your opponent. Now, part of the way you do that, well, the only way to get more generals is to purchase them from your personal merchants, if you will. And I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to show you how the game plays out, and we are going to do just a couple of rounds in this game so that you can see the way the game plays. It's really cool. There's a few small rules to remember. One of those is that your generals attack, they take their turns from your left to your right. So, and you must organize them in that direction where you're planning on using them from left to right. Now, it doesn't matter in what order you put them in, but you'll see that the skills that the generals have make a huge difference in how you're going to use them during a fight. Secondly, all of the skills in the game are included on this little card here. And then the characters, they just have their skills printed on them. See how Takeda Shingen has charge and tactician. And tactician's a really useful skill. I mean, charges as well, but tactician means that anytime he is attacking someone, he does not take any damage as the attacker. So the numbers across the tops of the card, Mori Motonari here has a 5. That's his attack skill. That's how hard he hits. The 4 in the middle is his level. So there are 4 different levels, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so you have 4 different levels of generals available to you. The level 4 generals are stronger than the level 3 generals, and the level 3s are stronger than the 2s, and the 2s are stronger than the 1s. But in the beginning of the game, the only generals you're allowed to purchase, the only ones available are the level 1 generals. So level 1 generals cost one coin, and so you could actually, in the first turn, each player gets 4 coins. And so you technically could just buy the top 4 level 1 generals off your stack, put them in play, and boom, you have a full army ready to go. But that means that 4 of your generals will not be very good because those level 1 generals are not very strong. Might win you a round or 2, but you might struggle after that if you're not improving the quality of generals that you can recruit. So, the level 2 generals, which is your second stack, they're a little bit better than the level 1s. And to unlock them and make them available for you to purchase, you first must spend 2 coins to unlock level 2. And then those generals also cost 2 coins each. So you can buy half as many of them as you can the level 1 generals, which sounds expensive until you realize since you only get 5 slots and the game's going to go on for a short while, you're better off using a better general when you can than using the level 1s. After you've unlocked level 2, if you have 3 coins you want to spend during your turn, you can unlock the level 3 generals and then purchase those generals for 3 coins each. And then after that, you could unlock the level 4 generals by spending 4 coins to unlock them, and then spending 4 coins per general to purchase them. Now, it is worth it. The level 4 generals are significantly better than the generals before them for every army. And there's one more catch. You are not, each of these generals that's in these different levels is inside those levels 3 times. There's 3 cards for each general inside these stacks, including 3 of your leaders. So there's 3 total Takeda Shingens, so 2 more in the 4 stack. And there's 2 more Mori Motonaris in this 4 stack, somewhere in there. When you've purchased and you own all 3 versions of a character, you are allowed to beef that character up. He gets a bonus and he basically doubles for the rest of the game and becomes a much more powerful general. So once you get all 3 versions of Mori Motonari, you replace him with this one. Twice the stats, same skills, but the skills of course become quite a bit more potent under a guy with this kind of strength. So it's a really neat way to make your generals better, to make your army more powerful. And anytime you can get a triple, even if it's a lower level triple, early in the game, lower level triples can be very powerful as well. So you're really looking at building the best army that you can. One last note, you're not allowed to have 2 of the same general represented in your army of 5. So if I have 2 versions of Mori Motonari, I can only have one of them on the board. The other one stays in my spare cards until I get the 3rd one. And then last, if you need money or you just have a general that you no longer want, say you bought a bunch of level 1 generals in the beginning of the game, and now you've moved on to the level 2 and 3 and maybe even the level 4 generals, and those level 1s just aren't competitive for you anymore, and you know you'll never use him again. You can sell them for 1 coin. No matter what level a general is, when you sell him back to the bank, you only get 1 coin. So a level 3 general may cost you 3 to purchase, but you only get 1 on a refund whenever you get rid of him. So let's see how the game goes. Each of these guys already has, did I put those on backwards? No, he's just on the wrong stack. Put them at the bottom. There we go. Each guy turns over his top level 1 general, and now the game begins. Now all the purchasing between players is done at the same time, but since I'm the only one doing this, I'm just going to do it myself one at a time. So this player would like to unlock his level 2. He's going to spend 2 coins to unlock level 2. And now there's a really pretty good guy there. I think we'll buy him. So we'll buy Shiji Hiroyoshi. Here's the guy we just purchased for 2 coins. It's pretty easy to remember that the number in the middle at the top is both their value level and how much they cost. So 2 coins buys me him. Now, anytime you buy someone, you automatically must flip over the next card. And then any generals not purchased that are face up at the end of your turn go to the bottoms of their stacks. And at the beginning of the next turn, the next card gets turned over. So I'm going to do that in a minute once Takeda Shingen has spent his coins. And I think he's going to go ahead and unlock his level 2 also. Let's see who gets turned up there. It's Oyamada Nobushige. I think he's going to purchase him too. That's a pretty decent guy. So he buys Oyamada. There's who he gets. Now, all of these guys, oh, and a second Oyamada turned up in his level 2 stack. And too bad he can't buy him, or he'd already have 2 copies, almost to the 3rd one. So he'll take Oyamada there. And now there's a screen. You put up a screen and you organize your troops, your generals, in whatever order you want to. Since I'm not playing against anyone, I'm not going to worry about doing that. And what you're looking for is both their statistics and their skills to see what's the best mix, what's the best options for getting rid of your opponent. Now, before the game started, both of these teams, both Takeda and Mori, turned in all 4 of their cities, and I shuffled them together. And every time the purchasing phase is over and we're about to go to battle, the very next city gets put on top. And whoever city that is, see how that blue matches the blue of Mori over here? That means that Mori gets the first turn because it's his city that we're fighting over here. So we're fighting for Mori's city. Mori's going to get to go first. And now that everyone knows the order, they each get a perk for free. So you deal them out, boom and boom. Mori gets Iron Will, so he can give +2 health to one of his generals for this next fight only. He's going to go ahead and put that on himself, and that goes in the little yellow stack under them. Let's see what Takeda got. He got Powerful Connection, so he can give one of his generals the skill Wall before this next turn starts, before this fight starts. Here's what Wall does. Any generals adjacent to the general with Wall have Taunt. So what Taunt means is that opponents must attack a general with Taunt before they can attack. They must kill that general, eliminate him, before they can attack anyone that doesn't have Taunt. So he already has a general with Taunt. He doesn't really want to put Taunt on himself, so he's going to put the Wall on himself, and that just doubles up the Taunt that's on Oyamada Nobushige. And now the battle is ready to begin. So since you attack from left to right, Mori is going to attack first, and he's the character on my far left, and he's going to attack Oyamada because Oyamada has Taunt, and I must hit him before I can hit anyone else. So Mori hits Oyamada. Mori hits for 5 damage. See, it's his 5 attack. Whoops. He's got 5 attack and 8 health. And Oyamada has 3 attack and 5 health. So that 5 damage that Mori does to Oyamada is enough to kill him. So he's eliminated. He now goes down to the bottom of the card, and he's no longer going to be able to participate in this fight. Mori does not take any damage from that attack. Normally, he'd have taken 3 damage from Oyamada's attack ability. But because Mori is a tactician, that is a skill that means when you're the one doing the attacking, you don't take damage for attacking other people. So Mori takes no damage. He still has his full 8 health. Technically, he has 10 because he has that Iron Will perk that's been added to him. And so now it's Takeda's turn. You take turns. I get to go, then you go. Then I go, then you go. Takeda also has Tactician on himself. So when he's attacking someone, he doesn't have to, he doesn't take any damage while he's the attacker either. And he also has Charge, which means that whenever he hits someone hard enough to eliminate them, he immediately attacks again and takes a second turn. Unfortunately, he must hit Mori, who has more health than Takeda has in attack. Takeda has 7 attack and 7 health. Let me pull that up. There he is. And so he's going to attack Mori. And he causes 7 points of damage to Mori. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do those in stacks of 5. And Takeda, because he's a tactician, doesn't take any damage from that hit. Now, the next person to act is my second person, Shiji Hiroyoshi. Now, he's also a tactician. So when he hits Takeda here, Takeda's not going to take any damage. But this is starting to look really good for Takeda's going to take damage. Shiji is not going to take any damage. But this is starting to look really good for Takeda. In fact, he's just won this fight, even though it looks like he's behind right now because of the way the skills pan out. So Shiji does 3 damage to Takeda. Because Tactician doesn't help you when you're being attacked. It only helps you while you're the attacker. And Shiji, as a tactician, doesn't take any damage for that 3 damage that he gave Takeda. Now it's Takeda's turn again. Because I went, and he went, now I went, so he goes again. Takeda has to attack Mori because he still has Taunt and he's not dead yet. So Takeda does 7 damage to Mori, which is more than enough to finish him off. Mori goes away. His Iron Will gets thrown away because he's now out of the fight. And now Takeda also has Charge. So he must, now that he's defeated someone, he must immediately attack again. And remember, he didn't take any damage when he killed Mori because he's a tactician. So Takeda now attacks Shiji, who only has 4 health, to Takeda's 7 attack. And boom, Shiji's out. No fighters are left. Takeda is still standing. So Takeda wins the round. And he gets the city. That city is not a capital. It's just one of my regular cities. So it's worth 1 city point. If you'll see, here's my capital, Choshu. See the stars next to it? That means it's worth 2 points. Whenever you capture your opponent's capital or your own capital, you get 2 points. So currently Takeda is up 1-0, but that's the end of that fight. The perks all go away. Let me get this perk. And that's the end of the round. Now, turn 2, Both players get 5 coins. It goes up 1 coin every turn until you're at 8. And then at 8, that's where it stays the rest of the game. So each of them now gets 5 coins to buy generals. Oh, we've got to shuffle these under because remember, you can't just leave them stuck out. And we're gonna turn up, now that they've been unlocked, they stay unlocked. We're gonna turn up the next 2 for each of them. There we go. And now they each will spend their 5 yen on whatever they want. And I feel like Mori's gonna go ahead and unlock his level 3 here. Ooh, gets a really good guy there. Kobayakawa Takakage, another tactician with charge. He doesn't hit very hard, but he's got a ton of health. And that tactician, of course, helps him to attack without getting hurt. But to afford him, he'd have to get rid of Shiji because this guy costs 3 and I've only got 2 coins left. Or I can try to be clever here, and I think I will, and I'm gonna spend my 2 coins on 2 1 guys. So I'll buy this one, and then I'll buy this one. Oh, and see, that changes a lot. Now I've got 4 generals, and this little 1 guy has 3 attack and the skill cleave. And I'll show you what cleave does when we get into this next fight. So remember, you have to turn over the next one, even though you can't, even if you're not necessarily paying for it right now, that damage goes away. And now Takeda will spend his 5 coins, and let's just do the same thing. Let's unlock his level 3, see what's there. Oh, it's a huge guy. Fantastic guy. Kosaka Nobu. He's a 5 attack, 5 health, and he has Furious and Shield. Furious means that whenever Kosaka attacks, he always hits twice. Even if he doesn't kill the guy he hits the first time, he always hits twice. Shield means that the first time he should take damage, he takes no damage at all. It just breaks his shield. And from then on, he takes damage. So that's a great guy. One that you really don't want to let slip by the wayside. And gosh, I think he's going to throw away Oyamada for a coin. And that gives him 3 coins to buy Kosaka Nobu. So he spent all his cash. And that's it. That turn of purchasing is over. And now we're going to see where we're fighting. West Shinano, so Takeda's going to go first this time. And now they both have to restructure, figure out where they're going to order their guys. I think that's probably where we want to be. And then he's going to leave his the way they are, I believe. Yeah. And so now we're fighting for West Shinano. Takeda's going to go first. Both players get a new perk. He gets Iron Will, so the +2 health that I had last turn, he'll put that on himself because he's the big one. Oh, and then Mori gets a really good one. He gets a free shield that he can put on one of his guys, and he's going to put that on himself. So now the fight begins. This time Takeda gets to go first, and so Takeda is the first one in the slot, so he's going to attack. Now remember, you must attack taunts before you can attack anyone else. And because Shiji still has wall, Kuchiba now has taunt because whoever's next to a wall guy has taunt. So Takeda goes to hit Kuchiba and he breaks his shield because Kuchiba comes with a shield. That's all Takeda's attack does, is break his shield. Now it's my turn. And I have Kumagai Nobunau. He's the guy with cleave. Cleave is a super skill. You not only hit the person you're targeting whenever you use cleave, you also hit everyone next to them. So this 3 damage is going to be applied both to Kosaka and to Takeda. Now, he does not have tactician here. Kumagai doesn't. So this attack kills him. He only has 1 health, you see right there. And no matter which one he hits, he's going to get hit for either 7 or 5. And so he's definitely gone. So this attack will kill him. Doesn't really matter which one I hit since there are 2, because they'll both get hit for 3 damage. So there's 3 damage to Takeda. And Kosaka actually takes no damage. It just breaks his shield. So I'm just putting that on there to symbolize that his shield is gone, just like this guy's shield is gone. And now it's Kosaka's turn to attack. I still have a guy with taunt here, so he has to hit him. So Kosaka hits for 5 damage against my guy here with only 3 health. So he's gone. He's now dead. But he hits Kosaka back for 2. And so now that I'm into the damage, we know that the shield is broken. There's 2 health. He's now been hit for 2, but he has Furious, so he must attack again. He gets 2 attacks, remember. Well, now, even though there's a gap here next to Shiji, his wall now extends out to whoever is still adjacent to him. Technically, Mori Motonari is still adjacent to Shiji Hiroyoshi. So now the wall gives Mori Motonari taunt. So Kosaka will attack Mori Motonari because he has to. So he'll do 5 damage to Mori, and it's enough to kill Kosaka because he only had 3 health left, and Mori hits for 5 also. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mori, oh gosh, no it doesn't. It only breaks his shield. I forgot he had this shield for this fight. So he doesn't actually take any damage. But Mori has Retaliate. So he attacks back to hit Takeda. And he hits him for 5. Because he has Tactician, he takes no damage from it. So Takeda now has been hit for 8 points, I believe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 1 health left because he has 7 plus the 2 that were left over from the last fight, or from the perk, I'm sorry. And so now it's Takeda's turn. He has to hit Mori because Mori still has taunt. So Takeda hits Mori for 7, takes no damage on the hit because he has Tactician. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But Mori has Retaliate, and so he retaliates back, hits Takeda for 5, and that's it for Takeda. He has no health left. He's down and out. So Mori wins fight number 2, and now it's 1-1. Each team has now won a fight. Each team now has 1 land, and we're ready to go on to round 3, where each player will have 6 coins. So that's how the game works. That's how it gets played out. And your goal, obviously, is at the end of the fight to have more of the city points than your opponent. And the way to do that is to win fights, for those cities. And there are several different strategies. This game has been won by someone who just got out to a lead really fast. And we couldn't catch him once our armies were better than his. He did that by doubling up a bunch of 1s and 2s, or tripling up actually a bunch of 1 and 2 strength characters, so that early in the game he just had stronger people than we did because he tripled them up on the cheap, while we were going for our bigger characters in the 3 and 4 range. And I've also seen the people who went for the bigger guys, the 3 and 4, end up winning as well, because once you triple up those 3 and 4 strength guys, there's really not a lot that stands against them very well, particularly certain ones with particular skills and just outstanding statistics on them. So it's a especially cool game when you have more than 2 characters, more than 2 players, because you end up battling several times more. It really gets you into the higher rank characters for each of the armies, and the battle really becomes high powered. You get to see a lot of combinations. I've actually had a board of all 5 of my characters killed in 1 attack by Lubu, who had managed to get tripled up, got Tactician on a perk because he is not a Tactician at all, but there is a perk that can give you Tactician. And Lubu absolutely decimates when he's been tripled up. He gets Cleave, which means he hits the person he's targeting and everyone adjacent to them. And he has Charge, which means if he kills someone on an attack, he automatically attacks again. So you give him Tactician, where he can't lose any health, and he is suddenly just an absolute homewrecker and a destroyer of armies single-handedly. And but it's really rare that you happen to get that perk. You might get that once or twice a game. And in a 4-player game, you do realize each character, each army, each faction has has 4 cities, and those 4 cities means that you'd have 16 battles in a 4-player game, and you're really only trying to win 1 point more than half. So out of those 16, there will be 4 capitals. That means that there's a total of 20 points available. By the time the first player gets 11 points, it's game over. Unless they're being, when someone gets to 11, it's game over. But the other way is, if it's 4 to 4 to 3 to 3 at some point, it's still a really close match and anyone could win. And that's when you really start to see the really higher level guys come out and make their big mark on the game. So like all of my games, this one needs some artwork. And to make that happen, I need your help. And I'd love for you to back me and get behind me and help me on Patreon and get this game where I can start making it. It needs artwork to, make it to sales and for me to be able to market this thing. And to get that done, I'm going to need a little bit of help financially to get the game off the ground. So with that said, please take a look at my Patreon page. See if there's a level on there that you'd be comfortable backing me. Any bit will help. And I really appreciate you coming and checking out this video with me today. And I really hope to look forward to putting out a lot more videos. I have so many games that I've created and being able to share all of that with you so that you realize none of these are a one-off thing. I've got a ton of games ready to go, waiting for artwork, and I just need your help to get them out there. So I really, really do appreciate you checking this out, and I hope to see you again soon. Happy gaming. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon.